ॐ सहनाववतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहै। ॐ शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ॐ नमो ब्रह्मादिभ्यो ब्रह्मविद्या सम्प्रदायकर्तृभ्यो वंश ऋषिभ्यो महद्भ्यो नमो गुरुभ्यः। ॐ नमः प्रणवार्थाय शुद्धज्ञानैकमूर्तये निर्मलाय प्रशान्ताय दक्षिणामूर्तये नमः। ॐ सदाशिवसमारम्भां व्यासशङ्करमध्यमाम् अस्मदाचार्यपर्यन्तां वन्दे गुरुपरम्पराम्। ॐ श्रुतिस्मृतिपुराणानाम् आलयं करुणालयं नमामि भगवत्पाद शङ्करं लोकशङ्करम्। ॐ शङ्करं शङ्कराचार्यं केशवं बादरायणं सूत्रभाष्यकृतौ वन्दे भगवन्तौ पुनः पुनः। समस्तं ब्रह्मविद्याचार्येभ्यो ऋषिभ्यो मुनिभ्यो गुरुभ्यो देवताभ्यो नमः। परब्रह्मणे नमः। श्रुतिमात्रे नमः। ओम श्री वेदव्यास वैशंपायन याज्ञवल्क्य आद्यशंकरादिगुरुभ्यो नमः। अस्मद्गुरुभ्यो नमः। परब्रह्मणः गुरुतत्त्वस्य गुरुपरम्परायाः इष्टदेवतायाः समस्तदेवतानां ऋषीणाम् अनुग्रहेण उपनिषदुक्त ब्रह्मात्मैक्यबोधस्य अस्मिन् क्षणे एव अनुभवसिद्ध्यर्थं सनातनधर्मस्य वैदिकसंस्कृतेः विश्वव्याप्त्यर्थं समस्त साधक भक्त सनातन धर्म संस्थापकानां विघ्न निवारण शत्रु निर्मूलन द्वारा समस्त विजय प्राप्त्यर्थम विश्व शांति समैक्यता एकता प्राप्त्यर्थम तैत्तिरीय उपनिषदः पारायणम् अध्ययनं वयं सर्वे करिष्यामहे। आद्य शंकर भाष्य समेत इन तृतीया भृगुवल्ली अन्न ब्रह्म उपासना chanting we have to do. ॐ अन्नं न निन्द्यात् तद्व्रतं प्राणो वा अन्नं शरीरमन्नादं प्राणे शरीरं प्रतिष्ठितं शरीरे प्राणः प्रतिष्ठितः तदेतदन्नमन्ये प्रतिष्ठितं स य एतदन्नमन्ये प्रतिष्ठितं वेद प्रतितिष्ठति। अन्नवानन्नादो भवते महान् भवति प्रजया पशुभिर्ब्रह्मवर्चसेन महान् कीर्त्या अन्नन्न परिचक्षेत तद्व्रतम् आपो वा अन्नम् ज्योतिरन्नादम् अप्सु ज्योतिः प्रतिष्ठितं ज्योतिष्याप प्रतिष्ठिताः तदेतदन्नमन्ये प्रतिष्ठितं स य एतदन्नमन्ये प्रतिष्ठितं वेद प्रतितिष्ठति। अन्नवानन्नादो भवति महान् भवति प्रजया पशुभिर्ब्रह्मवर्चसेन महान् कीर्त्या अन्नं बहुकुर्वीत तद्व्रतम् पृथिवी वा अन्नम् आकाशोन्नादः पृथिव्यामाकाश प्रतिष्ठितः आकाशे पृथिवी प्रतिष्ठिता तदेतदन्नमन्ये प्रतिष्ठितं स य एतदन्नमन्ये प्रतिष्ठितं वेद प्रतितिष्ठति। अन्नवानन्नादो भवते महान् भवति प्रजया पशुभिर्ब्रह्मवर्चसेन महान् कीर्त्या। ओम शान्ति शान्ति शान्तिः। ओम अतः श्री कृष्ण यजुर्वेदान्तर्गत तैत्तिरीयारण्यकान्तर्गत तैत्तिरीय उपनिषद ओम यस्मात् जातं जगत् सर्वं यस्मिन्नेव प्रणीयते येनेदं धार्यते चैव तस्मै ज्ञानात्मने नमः। यैरिमे गुरुभिः पूर्वं पदवाक्यप्रमाणतः व्याख्याताः सर्ववेदान्ताः तान् नित्यं प्रणतोऽस्म्यहम्। तैत्तिरीयकसारस्य मयाचार्यप्रसादतः विस्पष्टार्थरचयिनामहे व्याख्येयं सम्प्रणीयते। शान्तिमन्त्रः। ॐ शन्नो मित्रः शं वरुणः शन्नो भवत्वर्यमा शन्न इन्द्रो बृहस्पतिः शन्नो विष्णुरुक्रमः। नमो ब्रह्मणे नमस्ते वायो त्वमेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मासि त्वामेव प्रत्यक्षं ब्रह्मवादिशं ऋतमवादिशं सत्यमवादिशं तन्मामावीत तद्वक्तारमावीत आवीन्माम् आवेद्वक्तारम्। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। अथ द्वितीया ब्रह्मानन्दवल्ली शान्तिमन्त्रः। ॐ सहना भवतु सहनौ भुनक्तु सह वीर्यं करवावहै तेजस्विनावधीतमस्तु मा विद्विषावहैः। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। अथ प्रथमोऽनुवाकः। ॐ ब्रह्मविदाप्नोति परं तदेशाभ्युक्ता सत्यं ज्ञानमनन्तं ब्रह्म यो वेदनिहितं गुहायां परमे व्योमन् सोऽश्नुते सर्वान् कामान् सः ब्रह्मणा विपश्चितेते। तस्माद्वा एतस्मादात्मन आकाश सम्भूतः आकाशाद्वायुः वायोरग्निः अग्नेरापः अद्भ्यः पृथिवी पृथिव्या ओषधयः ओषधीभ्योऽन्नम् अन्नात् पुरुषः स वा एष पुरुषोऽन्नरसमयः तस्येदमेव शिरः अयं दक्षिणपक्षः अयमुत्तरपक्षः अयमात्मा इदं पुच्छं प्रतिष्ठा तदप्येष श्लोको भवति। ॐ शान्तिः शान्तिः शान्तिः। Salutations to Parabrahma, Shruti Mata, to Guru Tattva, entire Guru Parampara, and Paramatma, and all his expressions, and our Ishta Devata. Salutations to Sri Veda Vyasa Vaishampayana Yagnivalkya and the Bhashyakara Adya Shankara Bhagavan, and to our own Guru Parampara and Guru Personal. Now, in general also, any period of the history, for every being, the life is always the lifelong struggle. The survival itself is a struggle, and the evolution also is a struggle. And it needs efforts, it takes time. And knowingly or unknowingly, everyone is putting the efforts, giving the time. To that extent, the evolution or the survival is happening. Among them, you and I as human beings are given one special faculty called as intellect, which discovers this, that life is lifelong struggle and it needs efforts and it takes time. Then if you can really take time or give time and put efforts, we can really not only survive, sustain, but really grow. Not only grow in life outer, but even spiritually also we have to evolve. But it is a struggle, and we have to put efforts, and it takes time. And in spirituality, the struggle is more and more, because that which we are pursuing, what we are seeking is some things other than what we are normally familiar about. Therefore, it requires a special ability and qualities, special personality in us, preparing which alone is a big time taking factor and a struggling factor. It deals with the mind and the preparation of the mind, etc. And in this struggle spiritually, what two things we have to achieve are: one is transcendentally, Only one truth, the Param Brahma alone is there. For that, all the study of Shastras, all the contemplations, inquiries, meditations, these are all inevitable, through which alone that final stage is understood, tried, experienced. Not only that, we have to answer to ourselves and others also that if the truth alone is real, then where from and how all this untruth is coming and playing. We can't brush aside it by saying the Maya because that will give some relief, but it will not give the solution. Therefore, in and through the Vyavahara also at every moment, what is that even in Vyavahara, the rules that are functioning, the system that is getting operated, the coordinations or the, what do you say, the things that are there, to the extent these things also are understood without compromising with the truth alone permeating everywhere, to that extent, even in this world also, we will be able to live fully well. So, transcendentally alone, Paramatma alone is there. Immanently in everything also, Paramatma alone is there. Yet, even in this immanent Jagat, it is He alone has made a variety of the rules, regulations. Whoever understands them and gets abided by them, he is safe even in the world also. So in the Tasmin Drushte Paravare, the Paradrushti is also very difficult to develop. Then in the Avara, in and through, not only seeing the Lord, but His scheme of working, His plan of working, understanding it and abiding in it also is required at the imminent level. That is why in the first of the Upanishad Taittiriya, Valli, we were not taught the Paravidya, Paravidya. We were only taught the Avara where we were told to do the Upasanas. Even in all our non Vedantic spiritual Upanishadic literature of Purana Itihasa, what we are taught is only the Avara how to recognize the Lord, worship Him. Even in the Smriti Adi Grantha, Yoga Adi Shastras, we are taught about at the our level how we have to understand our own personality fully, thoroughly, and see again in coordination with the total how we have to conduct so that we are not troubled by the total, total is not troubled but served by the us. So all these understandings are big, big struggles, effort taking, time consuming. But there's no other way if we truly, really mean business in our spiritual evolution. So we have to take it up, not as a burden, but as a challenge, an ambition, as a vision, as the goal to be achieved. Getting inspired by the great Mahatmas who also went through all these struggles and reached to that goal. Such fully grown up person is called a matured Adhyatmika Sadhaka. Yet, this is all at the understanding level. The real growth is visualized only we start putting efforts from where we are. At theory level also we have to be matured. At the practice level also we have to be matured. When while practicing evolution also we have to see that it is happening in us. Now these all will be possible only when we are in constant touch with the Shastra, constant touch with our Guru Parambara, constant touch with the Paramatma. Never ever leave all these three things throughout life. So now here we are struggling, we are putting our efforts, we are taking our time to understand the Brahma Lakshana. This Lakshana Yukta Brahma as given to us by Shruti Mata and as being commented and explained to us by the Bhashyakara Bhagavan Sri Adi Shankara. We took up this responsibility of studying this portion steadily and slowly, systematically, completely. So, in that process, yesterday we have analyzed and saw how the Brahma, which is Satyam Jnanam Anantam, for Pura Pakshi, is only not there. These three words are having meaning only to deny the opposite. Satya to deny the Anrutam, Jnana to deny the Jadata, and Anandam is or Ananta is to deny the Santata. These words are used. There is no Brahman at all. No, this type of mindset also gets developed if you are half attentive. You understand? There are always chances. शून्यवादीन कहते हैं उनको. And he is missed that attention of the on the word called Brahma. सत्यम ज्ञानम अनंतम करके श्रुति ने छोड़ नहीं दिया. सत्यम ज्ञानम अनंतम ब्रह्म श्रुति माता said. Okay. Then why anybody denies something unless opposite to that he wants to establish, especially the Shruti Mata. And Shunya is never experienced because to experience the Shunya, somebody should be there. Is it not? Even if there is a Shunya, who recognizes it? Who certifies it? So, in this way, the discussion started yesterday. Okay, then Brahma Vastu is there, had to be established by the Bhagavan Adi Shankara answering the Purvapakshi. So he explained all that. Brahma Vastu hai and it is Sadvastu hai. Shruti herself said, therefore there should be no doubt about it. Having said so, he gave three quotations. And on those three quotations, again Purvapakshi developed the earlier doubts. This is what the discussion. Mind you, these discussions, when we take to the heart and deeply, in these discussions only, the Vishaya, the subject matter, Brahma, and its uniqueness also is also going to become clearer in our understanding. And while understanding the Brahma Tattva to be like this itself, our contemplation is happening, and through this contemplation, we are reaching a nearer and nearer. The beauty in Brahma Vidya is we have to try to know it. And really, when we come to know, the surprise happens that we become one with it. We discover it as ourselves. There are no other upasanas required. There are no other yoga, chitta, vritti, nirodha struggles required. No karma yogas are required. None of the struggle of the vasana purification. All these are selected and deleted in a Vedanta marga for a true, serious, sincere, contemplative seeker. इन सब के विषय में जो होना है ऑन द वे अपने आप ही होता है. दैट्स व्हाई दिस कॉल्ड एज विहंग मार्ग. The path of flight. The others are the railway, road, and water paths. But this one is the Vihanga Marga only. Vedanta Vicharana itself does the bhasma or the cutting asunder of all the things to be removed. Then we just apprehend the reality. But that art of contemplation we have to develop. Bhagavan Adi Shankara's contribution to all his students are this only. We are given a mauka, a chance, an ability, a maturity to do deep contemplation. And his literature for 10 years, if we can regularly study all the sufficient abilities of the intellect to logically think according to the Shastra, develop in that the truth is apprehended. Not only apprehended, the apprehension itself becomes contemplation. The deep contemplation itself makes it known that that truth which we are discussing, talking, is none other than my own self. Therefore, I am the Brahman. In me only, in the ignorance of my own self, my own, the power which is born out of ignorance, called Maya, has projected the entire world. Mayeva sakalam jatam. Mai sarvam pratishthitam. Mai sarvam layam yati. Tad brahma dvayam. These words become, or slokas become, our own experience at that stage. So, tat sruštva tadevanupravishato aretamānandamayamatmānamupasankramati or tasmadva etasmad atmanah akashah sambhutah. इतने बार about Atma, Shruti is saying, Atman alone is Brahman. O Purvapakshi, how can you deny the presence of Atma? He said. He accepted it, but he says, You, while talking all that, so many Kriya Padas you have used. Atmana Akasha Sambhutaha means it got modified. Tat Srishtva, it created means it worked. Tadeva Anupravishatu means it is entered. Etamanandamaya Matmanam Vasankramati means it's reached. So when so many Kriya Padas are there, how do you say then the Jnanam is Nyapti? It has become Jnana Kartru. Then it got how many difficulties are the faults in it? It has become Jnana Kartru also, it has become Santa also, it has become dependent also, it has become even क्या कहते हैं modifiable Vyakrita also. In these many ways, when this your own Atma, which you are quoting from the scriptures, going through so many modification, it is denying the basic words of Satyam Jnanam Anantam. What is your answer for it? These are all inner contemplations, not outer speeches. Listener, speaker, both while contemplating inside on that, you'll have to talk or listen. To this, the most profound explanation given by Bhagavan Adi Shankara is worthy of mastering for every true seeker who wants to deeply understand the Brahma Tattva in its deeper and complete aspects. Repeatedly to be studied, and any such portions in any other part of Upanishad also worthy of deeply studying for doubtless clear understanding, because without understanding what on we can contemplate, without contemplating how we can reach to the thing to be reached, especially the tattva here. So here Bhagavan Adi Shankara telling the pramana or pratigna vakya, slowly he is developing, and we have to follow him. Along with him, we have to travel in contemplation to understand. So the first thing which he said was ki swarupa avyatirekena karyato upacharat. First feel the meaning of these two main sentences. Then the definite explanation is given for the conviction of these two sentences. What are the two? First, swarupa avyatirekena. Brahman is there in its own swarupa. That swarupa of the Brahma has never ever changed. Feel the meaning of this sentence. Second, then your point I have to answer ki how many ways the Brahma has become Jnana Kartru, or so many of the karyas are there seen in him. The answer given to it is all that karyatva is upacharatu. Upachara means what? It's for the sake of explanation, for the sake of formality. इन रियली ब्रह्म का ये सारा कोई कार्य तो नहीं है, बट अगेन यू एंड आई आर सीइंग, all that seeing has to be answered, and while answering we have to establish Brahman alone. Therefore, because we are seeing through the upadhi, the world is appearing to us like that. Well, for us who seeing the world like this, for us to answer the karyatva on Brahma, upacharena eva uktam. Does it mean, that means what? Karyatva is only upachara, but otherwise Brahma is always in his own sarupa without any vyatireka happening in it. Vyatireka means changing or getting modified. So the Brahma as it is, we are saying. He says, no, Brahma became Kartru. The answer given to is that Kartrutva we are not denying completely, but we are saying it's an Upachara. Upachara is appearing like that, but never became like that at the cost of his own Sarupa. Like the man is a Karyatva Upacharat, he has become the father. But he has not become father in such a way that he has lost his manhood. So because through the son, that Upacharakale Karyatva as a father, he has come down to that level and he behaved. Always what we have to remember is the fatherness is because of the son, the conditioning, but the man in that father has never changed. सो उपाधि के कारण, उपचार के कारण ये ब्रह्म में कार्यत्व है. अदरवाइज ब्रह्म इज स्वरूप अव्यतिरेक. ऑलवेज इज इन जोन व्यतिरेक, इन जोन एसेंशियल नेचर. स्वरूप अव्यतिरेक है, अपने आप से कभी वो बिगड़े नहीं. एंड अगेन unless we take the examples 100 times, we will not catch what is said. That cheating done by mind intellect is, वो कहता है कि तुमको समझ में आया, आगे बढ़ो. अरे नहीं आया समझ में, अभी रुको. पूरा डीपली समझने तक उसको चिंतन करना है. द एग्जाम्पल इज व्हाट? डिड द गोल्ड चेंज टू बिकम द ऑर्नामेंट्स? Swarupa Avyathareka, gold always remained as gold. That's why the importance of examples. Gold, has it lost its Swarupa? No. Therefore, Swarupa Avyatharekata is achieved. Yeah, that is Siddhanti's point. But the Purvapakshi asks, but the gold has become the ornaments or not? Because I am seeing ornament. Hey Guru, you are also seeing ornaments. Then the answer is what? These gold ornaments are seen by us. Therefore, to answer it, the Brahman has expressed as the gold, or appeared as the gold, or acted as the gold, or appeared as ornament. Gold has appeared as ornament, or became as ornament, or expressing as ornament. Whatever the grammar you are using, all of that is upachara. Why is it upachara? Because if you deeply inquire, every corner and every part of your ornament is what is there is gold only. See this subtle examples analysis. Then where is the ornament? It is nowhere. In its own absence it is there. In our own acceptance it is there. Before accepting the ornament, we have rejected the gold. The rejection of the gold is non-perception of the gold. That means ignorance of the gold. Because ignorance of the gold, ornament is seen, ornament is taken to be so real that the gold is forgotten. Now, through the inquiry, as we are becoming subtler regarding the example, in the same way, through the inquiry, when we deeply reach to the substratum called Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma, what we find is entire Jagat is permeated by Brahman alone. Then the Jagatness, which is called as the expression of the Jagat, is the Karyatva of Brahmana, but Upachara. Because we are seeing the Jagat, we are asking the question, we need to be answered. दृष्टि देखो, सिर्फ ब्रह्म का रखो, तो ब्रह्मन alone is there, then question won't come. But you are seeing something other than Brahman, then asking the question, because Brahman alone is there, it alone has appeared like this, had to be told. That the problem of language. Has it appeared? Has it manifested? Has it modified? Has it created? None of these are correct. Because for any of these things to happen, the original dhatu or the reality or the gold or the Brahman has to go through modification. Then Swarupa Avyatiregata goes away. And it has not gone away. It is not a sentimental issue or forcing you to accept that the gold has not changed when it is appearing as ornament. कोई जबरदस्ती नहीं कर रहा. It's a fact. So too the Brahman, when is appearing as a universe, while appearing, it has not changed at all, even an iota. It is not a compulsion, it is not an emotion, it's a fact. Like the wood when it became the chair or table or a wall, window or a door, inherently the woodness has not changed. ये कोई impulsion से compulsion थोड़ी है ये. It is not a sentiment or emotion. It's a fact. You have to catch that fact. Wood remaining as wood, becoming useful as the door. While we are contacting the wood as the door and importance given to the door, we are never talking or even thinking about the presence of wood there. Nobody says open the wood. Everybody says open the door. Because in the wood there are no vyavaharas. Or there is a confusing vyavahara. If you say open the wood, which wood? Because window also wood, door also wood, chair also wood. अब कौन सा? Therefore the व्यवहार के लिए नेम देना पड़ा, व्यवहार के लिए रूप देना पड़ा. But because of that the reality तो has not changed. So the ones who transcend all vyavahara, which is a necessary condition, alone can reach the truth. Having reached the truth, keeping the truth knowledge intact, one can do vyavahara as earlier normally. Then he is called as Jivan Mukta. He has no doubt now about when he is talking about window or the wood, he is talking the wood, so window or the door, he is talking the wood only. So we are trying to understand the first two lines. Sarupa avyatirekena as well as upacharat karyatva. Karyatva Brahma ka upachara matra hai. Karyatva means he has done something, he has got changed, he has modified, he is created, he has expressed. All this you call ना ये कार्यत्व कहते हैं. ये उपचार है, only formality. Because of you are seeing and you are asking question. And the beauty of this thing is one, therefore Brahma appearing as the entire universe, which is called the Karyatva of the Brahma, is only upachara, formality, nothing to be taken it as serious or real. Take Brahman as serious and real. It is infinite and you are that. You are liberated at this very instance. But this upachara wala karyatva ko or karyatva karana express हुआ कार्य को, if you take seriously, you will have double suffering. One, the missing of the Brahman and its infinitude and all pervasiveness. Second, these karyas which have come out of the karana are ever changing, ever modifying, never stable. You think you have caught it, it's gone. Drushta nashta swarupa. Kadali stambhavatu. How beautifully Bhagavan Adi Shankara, in that Katha Upanishad, the fifth Valli, to that Urdhvamula Avakshagaha, what an exhaustive explanation he gave. That and this, if combined, if we study, we become the masters of Vedantic understanding for ourselves, not to prove to others or impress upon others. The two types of suffering will come to us if we deny the Brahman and are lost in the Karya. So, Karyatva ke karan express hua Karya. Karyatva is the Brahma doing something. And having done something, he created something or he is expressed as something. It is called as Karya. Karyatva and Karya, there are two different things. If a Karya is like Karyatva is I am cooking the food. Karya is the food which is cooked. Karana is I, my intelligence, the raw material and all that. So this karyatva of the Brahman, that he has become something or expressed as word, is upachara. These two have to be sorted out in our contemplation in such a way that in and through all the vyavaharik karya, we are not missing the paramarthika karana paramatma. That ability, that vision is called as spiritual vision. All the time, the pot is every moment observed and taken as permeated by the mud alone. Mud never gets broken, never gets destroyed. Pot has any time has chance to get broken. Before it gets broken, whatever the use I have to have with the pot, let me do. When it breaks, I need not worry. I can have another pot. Mud never gets broken. Is it not? In the same way, all the upadhis are changeable, variable, destructible. Before they get destroyed, let me make best use of them for my sadhana. When they are gone, they'll go. Again another will come. Brahman is always intact. This drushti is called Vedantic drushti. So, Atmanah Swarupa Avyatirekat Atmanah Karyatvata Upacharatu. Sort out these two, this contemplation. Explanation and the help is given to us exhaustively in next 10-12 sentences by Bhagavan our Adi Shankara. The beginning is what? The first one is sorted out. Yesterday we saw. Second also we started little bit. The Karya, sorry. Swarupa Vedrekata means what? Ki Atmanah Swarupam Gnaptihi. We have to chant this like Om Namah Shivaya, Om Namo Narayana mantra 100 times. We have to stop all that japa now. We have to do only Vedantic japa. Those japas have brought us to Vedanta now. Through Vedanta, we have to reach to the truth now. So, Atmanaha Swarupam Vignaptihi, Atmanaha Swarupam Vignaptihi. This we have to 100 times say. And as we said yesterday, Atma ka Swarup Vignapti hai. Ye, not again emotion, not again sentiment, not again faith. It is everyone's little thoughtfully, if we think, experience. As we said yesterday, I am the pure consciousness, always illuminating all the three avasthas and every experience in all these three avasthas, myself without getting modified. The logic is if I get modified while going through any of the avasthas, I would have not become aware of the other avastha. But continuously one after the other, each of the avasthas are coming and going, and in each avastha, especially Jagrata Sapna, hundreds and thousands of experiences are coming and going. If all of them are being aware, it is possible only if there is an awareness and it is not changing. Therefore, my real Swarupa is Gnapti. It is intellectual understanding. I have not yet traveled to get identified myself to the that Nepti Sarupa Brahma, and all other my identities have gone away. Thus I became Jivan Mukta. All that sadhana not yet done. We are doing intellectual understanding. Followed by that we do sadhana. Then by rejecting all the upadhi through Vetreka and through Anvaya of this Nepti Swarupa, we discover ourselves as a pure. This also takes time. This also takes efforts. वेरियस थिंग्स आर देयर व्यष्टि प्रारब्ध समष्टि प्रारब्ध आर देयर ये सब खत्म होने के बाद ही ये सिद्धांत ज्ञान को साधना के द्वारा अनुभव में ले जाने का इजाजत परमिशन होता है. Be clear about all that. Without theory we can't do sadhana, without sadhana we can't reach en route the sadhana. All these clearances we have to have. Is it not like prime minister or president's convoy? For him there are no blocks en route. For all others, he'll have to clear so many things. But they have their own inner clearances to be done. The checking of the vehicles with all the dogs and all. उनका अपना है क्लियरेंस तो है ही. दूसरों की तरह हर पोस्ट पे उनको चेक नहीं करते. लेकिन 24 घंटे उनका चेकिंग हो ही रहा है अंदर. Nobody can be spared. So to each one will have to go through his own sadhana evolution to make the theory experiential. So theory we are understanding. Atmanaha Swarupam Gnaptihi. I am the pure Gnapti Swarupa. I am remaining as Sakshi. I am Drashta. In my presence, all these are coming and going. This is everybody's experience. It's only we are not becoming aware of it. We are not having faith about it. Some things we know, but still we don't have faith. Like somebody is loving us. We know it, but still we have no faith. That's funny. The mind intellect are so funny instruments. Unless they are properly brought under the guidance, under the strict surrender to the Guru and doing exactly as they say, the mind intellect will go haywire in thousand directions and confusing us, which is our everyday's experience. So we see, we know it also, yet we may have not faith. So too, we know that we are pure conscious self, yet we don't have faith. That's a problem. So that is proved. Atmana Swarupam Gyaptihi. और सेकंड पॉइंट क्या है कि न ततो व्यतिरिच्यते. द ज्ञप्ति, प्लीज रिमेंबर, ऑलवेज ज्ञप्ति never takes holiday, never goes away, never in its luminosity there is any reduction. Like बिजली लगातार है तो बल्ब ग्लो होता है. सडनली बिजली गया हो तो बल्ब गया. Sometimes the disconnection happens, na? Even in big countries like US also, when the bomb rains come, they also will have the electricity problem. बट ये जो आत्मा का ज्ञप्ति स्वरूप है न तथा व्यतिरिच्यते इट नेवर बिकम्स अदरवाइज नॉर इट बिकम्स ब्रोकन नॉर इट बिकम्स डिसकंटिन्यूअस दिस इज प्रूविंग अस द अनंतता आत्मना स्वरूपम ज्ञप्ति इज प्रूव्ड द ज्ञप्ति बिकॉज न व्यतिरिच्यते अतो नित्याः because it is nitya it is not vikaravan therefore again the satyatva is brought. That Purvapakshi has rejected Satyatva, Jnaptitva and Anandatva, Satya Jnana Anantam, Tino. In this first line only, the Shankara Bhagavan brought them again back. Atmana Sarupam Jnaptihi, Tatah na Vyatirichyate, Atah Nitya Eva. That I am, we have to discover. Now I am becoming a Jiva with Upadhi and having so many Vasana and all. Therefore I am samsari. पहले तो ये दो आत्माएं हैं पकड़ो एक फंसा हुआ जीवात्मा एक मुक्त परमात्मा then I only from all the fasau come out and discover my own paramatma swarup that is called spiritual journey that is a game to be played here for the victory that's the struggles we have to put to succeed or achieve so this much is enough for the swarupa avyatarekena now we have to explain the second one what is what Karyatva Upacharat. It takes lot of time to explain one by one. First thing is so wonderful but little subtler. Same we are so lucky in studying in our Yoga Darshanam also. But till it becomes clear, we have to go on listening, contemplating. He says, now the Karyatva Upacharatva. Karyatvata ब्रह्म का ये उपचार है वो बात हमको साबित कर रहे हैं 4-5 विषयों में 4-5 विषयों के द्वारा and we have to be very contemplative. Now, tathapi means even though Swarupa Vyatireka hai Atma is Jnapti Swarupa, Tata na Vyatirichyate, therefore Nitya, yet tathapi. Now you are answering from your standpoint. What you are seeing, the multiplicity of the world. Tathapi, now the first line itself is very crucial. What is that? Buddhehe upadhi lakshanayaha. Buddhi is antakarana here. In Yoga Bhasha, it's called Chitta. Buddhehe upadhi lakshanayaha. Means when the same Parama Atma is expressing through, listen the next word carefully, expressing through the conditioning of the Buddhi. Expressing through the conditioning of the Buddhi. Which is that Paramatma. And what is the Buddhi? It is a conditioning. What is a conditioning? It is only a conditioning, not a substantial thing, like a cloth. Expressing through the conditioning of the shirt is worn as a shirt. You see, what is the position of that shirtness? Is a conditioning on the cloth. Is there anything called as shirtness actually, other than the cloth? If you can understand the example, here also, it is not that a reality is given to the Buddhi. Buddhi is not real. That's when the people say, Tumko Buddhi nahi hai, you should thank them. You are right, sir. I don't have Buddhi. I am only Atma. See, when Atma is one without second, all permitting and modifying, where from, how can the Buddhi can come? You understood? Now the answer is, to the question is, thus Buddhi is used by us as if it is really existing. We have not transcended it to see the Buddhi Atita Parabrahma Anubhava. Therefore, for us it is there, and then we talk it as the Upadhi of the Paramatma. Buddhe hai Upadhi Lakshanayaha. बुद्धि क्या है एक उपाधि है परमात्मा के लिए इस अपने लक्षण का एक्चुअली बुद्धि नामक कोई चीज है ही नहीं आत्मा अलोन इज एक्सप्रेसिंग एज बुद्धि विदाउट इट सेल्फ चेंजिंग बुद्धि इज अंतःकरण अंतःकरण हैज कैपेसिटी ऑफ डिवाइडिंग इनटू अहम एंड इदम दिस इज व्हाट प्लीज रिमेंबर See how a director directs the cinema. First, he takes a theme, he develops, and he develops everything according to the theme. First theme is made in the mind. In the same way, we are seeing the world, we are asking question, then we are given all these details in such a manner. All these details take us to the Brahma. Having reached Brahma, all these things are not there. Like every road, we walk in that road to reach to destination. Our goal is not road, but this road takes. Therefore, we take that road. In the same way, in the analysis, this is the analysis which takes us to reality. This is how the gurus have given this analysis of the combination or the complementation or the connection between what we are seeing, what is reality. So now come to the explanation. Buddhe hai upadi buddhi actually nahi hai. It is a part of prakriti or maya, maya or avidya. In one way, it is the inseparable shakti from the Lord. In another way, in the Lord, that maya is not there. Be strict and clear about this understanding. Yet, now we have to answer the things which we are experiencing. Therefore, it is said, Buddhehe upadi lakshanaya. Tathapi, even though Atma is unmodifiable, changeless, yet through the upadi lakshana called as Buddhi, when it is doing what? Second thing. Second is what? Chakshuradi dvaraihi, through the dwara of the chakshuhu ityadi, the pancha jnanendriyas. Remember, these pancha jnanendriyas also at the highest level, either not there or the Atman alone in the ignorance of the Atman are taken by us out of our own ignorance, delusion. Like the chair, it has got four legs, two hands in the back. How many things you are talking about the chair? But all of that is one wood only or plastic. Think about it. The upadhi is called buddhi, the upadhi is called antakarana. In pure Brahman, they are not there. Point one. Point two, Brahman alone, Atman alone is taken as this by us in the ignorance of Brahman. And because of these upadhis, the things are appearing. In fact, the appearing things, the medium, the seer, all of them are one Brahman only. On him only these three are projected out of ignorance. That's what we are saying. Go to that knowledge, you will see only one reality. Therefore, what is Vedanta? The Dvaitam is the Samsaram, Dvaitam is the Ajnanam. Ekameva Advayam Brahma is the Jnana. Once you have it, then after playing the Dvaita, without compromising with Advaita, then the Dvaita without compromise Advaita is not a samsara. It is a game. In the game, there is no loss or gain. There is nothing to gain or lose. It's only enjoyment, entertainment. That's how, like Gurudev Mahatmas, they are so much in Brahma Advaita Anubhuti, yet they play in Dvaita without compromising with Advaita Anubhuti. Therefore, all this is only a play for them, not an issue, not a samsara. For us, this is real, therefore it's a samsara, and the real reality of forgotten, the double samsara. Now, through this inquiry, slowly we open up our intellects for that understanding. And who can do that? The one who has come to the Guru, held on to him, stayed there for years together without any of the problems, with full faith and Shraddha. Ma vidvishavaihi, that between me and my Guru, never be any dvesha. When this prayer is from the heart, when it is done, so to the Guru does, in their beautiful combination of coming together in the heart level, the Guru, when he communicates, then the disciple receives this. Other than the deep relation between Guru Shishya are there, others cannot give, the others cannot receive. This we will see again in Patanjali Yoga Darshana when we do the Agama Pramana. Very beautiful thought. There it comes. We'll see. So, here up to what we came, Buddhehe Upadi Lakshanayaha. Here only we are understanding without postponing. Buddhi is an Upadhi of Paramatma. Means is Upadhi is such a thing which is so near to it and superimposes its gunas on the reality. And that Upaditva also is Kalpita, Maya Kalpita. In the example of the crystal and the cloth, crystal is different, cloth is there to appear, to make the crystal appear in that color, red or blue. But in Vedanta, even that example also invalid to such an extent that the upadhi called as buddhi or chitta or antakarana also is unreal. Finally, but right now we have to explain our experiences. Therefore, for the time being, they are taken. That is called as upachar. आपको समझाने के लिए हम मान रहे हैं, बट एक्चुअली बाद में आप भी छोड़ दोगे उस बात को। समझे ना? मान लेते हैं हम समझाने के लिए। ठीक है बेटा, you have spent your money like this. Then we discuss and then prove कि what you have done is wrong. Here also, buddhehe upadhi lakshanayaha, buddhi is only upadhi for the atma. Means atman alone is taken as the chitta or antakarana buddhi vayas. Second, chakshuradi dvarena, through the chakshu ityadi dwara, pancha jnanendriyas we have, through that dwara, what is happening? Vishaya akara parinaminya. So, Vishaya Akara taking. Who is taking Vishaya Akara? Is the I taking the Vishaya Akara? Is the Buddhi taking Vishaya Akara? Is the Atma taking Vishaya Akara? We have to be very clear. Here, the Buddhi only taking Vishaya Akara, which is the Upadhi of the Atma. Atma is Avikari, Sarupa Avyatare. But this Atma is always with the Buddhi. Our Atma also will travel with the Buddhi when the Buddhi is taking the shape of that Vishaya with whatever the Indriya it has gone out. Now this will be better understood when you analyze the dream. अब ड्रीम में तो ऐसे अलग ज्ञानेंद्रिय तो नहीं है ना, like which we have in the outer life, जागृत अवस्था. Yet in dream also you have colors and forms, you have the sounds, you have no. So that proves to us that the chitta only taking all these akara of the vishayas. There the indriyas were not there. Directly chitta took the shape in the swapna avastha, in the jagrada avastha. Indriyas apertures are there. Through them, that respective form the antakarana takes. That's how it is. And it goes through the eye, the chitta, then takes the form of shapes and colors. Goes through the ears, takes the form of the sounds. Who is taking the form? Chitta only taking form. And in that chitta, Paramatma is there. Okay. Now, is the chitta other than Paramatma? No. Is the object other than the vritti? No. Is the vritti other than chitta? No. Is the chitta other than the Paramatma? No. At one level, Paramatma alone, second level, chitta. The chitta or antakarana alone at third level has become vritti of what? Whichever the object it has gone and embraced. Now, this very subtle it is. This sorts out so many illusions which we took as reality. What is the first illusion? We have never experienced the world. We are always experiencing our thoughts only. Because without the thought, world is not experienced. So when I am looking at you, I am not seeing you, I am seeing thought. When you are looking at me, you are not seeing me. You have never seen me. You have seen only my thought in your mind. And the thought is you only. Because chitta is nothing but chitti. Therefore, you are seeing your own self. Not knowing you are the Brahman, all this happens. When I discover I am the Brahman, then all these things go away. Other than him, there is nothing. And this is why, in the ignorance of the Brahman only, that powerful power called as Maya gets operational, and its powers are so infinite that it has projected such a world of variety and multiplicity. We are lost in that, taking them as real. They are all real from the Brahma standpoint. Like ornament is real from the gold standpoint. But we forget the gold and say the ornament is real. Who is giving the reality to ornament? The gold. Without gold, can there be ornament? This is called Vedantic Vichara. Without Satchit Brahma, can anything exist? No. Where is Satchit Brahma in everything? Everywhere. If everything Satchit Brahma alone is there, then where that Rupa and form came from? That's what we are asking. It has not come anywhere. Just by your acceptance only. Just by your notion. Just because your projection, because your imagination. And to that you gave reality. You gave reality. To such an extent, the reality is forgotten. This is what the Vedanta says to us. Think more and more. It will give such a rasa. There's no greater joy. If you can really enter into Vedantic Vicharana, than this anyway. So, Atmana Tathapi Buddhehe Upadi Lakshanayaha Chakshuradi Dvarena Dvare Vishayakara Parinaminyaha. Different Vishaya Akara is taken. Then Ye Shabdadi Akara Avabhasaha. Then Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasagandha are being perceived. Te Atma Vijnanasya Vishaya Bhutaha. This is the crux of the whole thing. All these Vishayas, okay, Shabda Sparsha Rupa Rasagandha, which are seen tentatively by the Indriyas. Behind the Indriyas were the Chitta. Behind the Chitta was Atma only. Therefore, which is taken in the Vishyakarata? Atma only. Because without Atma, Chitta cannot be. Without Chitta, Indriyas are useless. But without Indriya, the objects cannot be perceived. If this riddle can be sorted out, it is a very shocking understanding, wherein after this understanding comes, you can't give reality to the objects. Deeply, if you understand it, you can't. That moment only entire Vairagya effortlessly happens. That's the power of Vedanta. It is me only. How am I taking it as other than me and running behind it? The whole thing itself is wrong. Collapse hota hai pura samsar. That is why Visharana, Avasadhana, Gati, Sadehe Dhatoho. Is it not? Sat Dhatu in the Upanishad Shabda is talking about these three, which we studied 3 years back. Now we are understanding it slowly. So again I am reading. Tathapi buddhehe upadhi lakshanayaha. Buddhi, which is an upadhi for the Atma, means Atma alone is expressing as Buddhi. Then Chakshuradi Dvaraihi, through the Indriyas, the Atma as a Buddhi now traveling. Vishaya Akara Parinaminyaha, and when the Buddhi has traveled through Indriya, respective, that Vishaya Akarata is taken. Who is taking Vishaya Akarata? Indriya? No. Chitta? No. Then who? Atma only. Through the Chitta. Like who scolds? A man never scolds. The father scolds the son. But is the man there or not behind the father? Because man nahi to father hi nahi hoga. Therefore, if you really have to ask, who is he scolding? Who is scolding? Man only is scolding. But man need not scold because he will not scold every child. He will scold only this fellow because only as father. In the same way, Shuddha Atma में कोई व्यतिरेकता नहीं है. But you are seeing the world. How is it happening? We are explaining to the Atma. This is the Upadhi, the Chitta. Buddhe Upadhi Lakshanaya Shakshuradi Dvaraihi. Then Vishayakara Parinyamaha. Now, after that, ye Shabdadi Akara Avabhasaha. The variety of the Shabda, etc., are when they are formed, they are all called thoughts. What is the object's perception? When the mana goes into that object, then takes that shape is called as vritti. That vritti is always, Atma is there to illuminate it. Therefore, it becomes known. Knower known वही dichotomize होता है. So once this vritti or the chitta has taken the shape of that particular any of the shabda sparsha, whichever the indriya used, उसके बाद क्या हुआ? ते आत्मविज्ञानस्य विषयम होता है. Now be attentive. Without the consciousness, can the chitta, even though through indriya, can become take the shape of the object and become aware of that object? No. therefore आत्म चैतन्य का ही ये विषय हुआ है. Utpadyamana. Otherwise, you will not have the jnanam of that vastu, which we are now going to talk in Yoga Bhasha as the Prama. The Prama will not happen without the Chaitanya illuminating it. Prama means the jnanam about the Pramiti or the Prameya Vastu. By the for the Pramata through Pramana. So, Atmavijnanasya Vishayabhutaha Utpattimanaha eva Atmavijnanena Vyaptaha Utpadyante. The two things. Atman alone is riding through the Antakarana and taking shape of this object, and that object again is awared by again Atma Vastu only. Then only its existence is accepted or valid. So both ways Paramatma only. Through the Upadhi of the Antakarana or Chitta or Buddhi, and also the second level Upadhi of the Indriyas. Is it understandable? Atma through Chitta and Indriya taking the shape of the object. यहाँ तक हो गया? Then the Atma alone is illuminating. You have to be very careful in this understanding. Therefore, who is illuminated? Atma only. Who is illuminator? He is also Atma only. Tasmat Atma Vijnana Bhasyaha cha Vijnana Shabda Vachyaha. Okay. Te Dhatu Artha Bhutaha Atmana Heva Dharmaha Vikriyarupaha iti avivekivi parikalpyante. It is only those who are not able to do this viveka of discovering the Atman alone there, both as the Jnata and Gneyam, that they separate the Gneya Vastu as something other than the Atma, then they make the Atma as Jnata. One Atma only is Jnata Gneyam. Those who cannot do this discrimination, they take those two as real. In the two, they call Atma as a Jnata, then the object as Neyam. That is how the Jnana Kartrutva in the Atma is superimposed by Aviveki. In reality, in every experience, we are experiencing our own self. That's what Yatra Yatra Manoyati Tatra Tatra Samadaya. Tasmin Drishte Paravare, Pratibodha Viditam. Now, all these Vakyas which we study in other Upanishads, what are meaning is these only. That means what? The value given to Antakarana, the value given to the Indriyas is the one because of which the Atman is forgotten also. Because in the place of Atma, Jiva came. Jiva, through the Antakarana and the Indriya, seeing the objects as if they are other than us. From the other side again, where from the Vishayas have come, which is seen by the Antakarana, if you deeply analyze, all Vishayas are Satchit Parabrahma only. That is why in Vedanta, the subject is deeply analyzed and Satchidananda is discovered. The object is deeply analyzed and Satyam Jnanavanantam is discovered. Satyam Jnanavanantam, Satchidananda is one. So in one Satchidananda Brahma, there is the object subject is superimposed. That is what Vedanta final thought, which we have to work out, sort out, become again and again contemplative. To such an extent, this knowledge alone is taken as real. Will live this knowledge, which leads to the experience of Aham Brahmasmi. There the journey ends. We only just started. We have not given up anything of the world. Na Vivek Pura kiya, na Vairagya kiya, Shamadamadi kiye kuch nahi. But still we are studying. The power of study, as we said in the beginning, is so beautiful that without all of these, this can take us to the realization. If we have that pure faith and continuously follow, and whatever higher understanding we are getting, if we can accept it, if that purity is there, this is enough. This inquiry is enough to take us to the ultimate. बाकी सब अपने आप एडजस्ट हो जाए. Like in an office, if the boss is known to you, file अपने आप move होता है. Otherwise, to every person you have to go and give some bribe to him, and then only it goes to next level. But if you know the boss, you have to sit in the chair. वो अपने आप ही move होता है. Vedanta is like that mark. But to come to Vedanta, that relative Viveka Vairagya are required. That's why they are said as minimum qualifications. Again, we discuss here. कि तथापि बुद्धेः उपाधिलक्षणायाः चक्षुरादिद्वारैः विषयाकारपारिण्यां परिणामिन्याः हम्म, हम्म, सो एव आत्मविज्ञानेन व्याप्ताः उत्पद्यन्ते तस्मात् आत्मविज्ञानभास्याः च विज्ञानशब्दवाच्याः च ते धातु अर्थभूताः आत्मनः एव धर्माः विक्रियरूपाः इति अविवेकिभिः परिकल्प्यन्ते. So what is the whole thought here? When the Swarupa Avyatireka Atma is seen as Swarupa Avyatireka Atma, you don't see anything other than it. Therefore, questions will not come. Like a place you have not seen. So, 100 questions you will ask. But you yourself have seen, will any question come? No. In the same way, as Avyatireka Atma, when you see, questions won't come. We have not seen it. Not only we have not seen the Sarupa Avyatireka Atma, but we are seeing the entire world. We are seeing. Guru is, we are asking the question. He is telling the answer. In his answer, what is that main thing? You are seeing the object. Objects are seen through the senses. Behind the senses, mind is there. Behind the mind, the Atma is there. This is the actual process. Now the reverse process is what? Atman alone, through the buddhi named upadhi, through the sense organs, taking the shape of the objects. But what is that which is taking the shape of objects and all? Atma only. But the people, what have they done? These seen objects are taken as different from the seer. Because the seer seen difference accepted, then Atma is called as seer. Therefore, all this upachara lakshana hai, actually Atma avyatireka hai. He has never changed from its swarupa. Swarupa avyatirekata. Those who are not able to contemplate, that's why it's called iti avivekibhi parikalpyante. Only those who are not able to deeply contemplate. So what is meaning aviveki here? Ki in the pure Atma there is no vikara. It is Jnapti Swarupa, it's Satya Swarupa, it's Ananda Swarupa, Ananda Swarupa. It is all the upadhis. When we are valid, all these vyavahara is happening. When the vyavahara is taken as real, then we are calling Atma as modified. We take the chair as real and we say the wood has got modified. Wood has never got modified. Wood alone is real, even in the chair. But we gave the chair reality. We call the chair as an effect. Then naturally we call the wood as a karana. Then we say the karana got modified to become the effect. Whereas the innocent wood ko पूछो उधर भी वही था इधर भी वही है. Therefore, in every perception of every object, through every senses and through antakarana, it is the upadhis which are giving reality to the object. But if you really go beyond the upadhi, what we are experiencing every moment is our own self. This is how Sarvam Atma, this Vishaya also is to some extent made clear to us. So when we develop the faculty, very deep faculty, subtle faculty of the Viveka, then we will come to know that the Atma remained as it is only. But through the Buddhi Upadhi and through the Chakshuradi Indriya, when the objects are known, then the knower known differentiation ke karana, Atma is taken as Jnana Kartru. He has never become by himself. It is only avivekis have done it. Then through viveka, what we do? We have to accept there is no object without the senses. Is it not? Imagine, आँख नहीं है, तो where are colors and forms? Those ear नहीं है, where are the sounds? So too, there are no senses without the mind. Like in the sleep, there is no mind. The mind not operational, it's in Layavastha. Where are the senses functioning to see the world? So to go to the next level, Samadhi Sthiti mein, in the pure Atma, all of them are not there. That's what in Druk Drusha Viveka, the Telugu people have heard Rupam Drishyam Lochanam Drukka, Tat Drishyam Druktu Manasam Drutsadi Vrtayaha, Sakshi Drugeva, Natu Drishyate. So he is the Atma became Jnana Kartru. Never he became. He never modified. It is only through the Upadhi it is taken as if so by an Aviveki. One point is discussed. Now, the pure Atma or Brahma, when through Upadhi, how all the drama happened, we saw. In Nirudpadika Rupena, how it is. The Jnanam Brahma or Jnanam Atma is taken here for little discussion. It is Yattu Brahmana Vijnanam. Now we saw through Indriyas, through the Antakarana, the Vishaya Vijnanam we saw. It is all the drama done by the Antakarana in the Vrittis when we used them, when we valued them, Antakarana and Indriyas, when we have trusted them. But actually, Atman alone is Antakarana as well as Antakarana Vritti, as well as the Indriyas, as well as Indriyas Karma and the Vastu. But this Viveka we are not able to do. That self alone. The moment we do Viveka, self alone is discovered as real. Other than it is nothing. Therefore, the Karya Karana Sambandha is not there. Therefore, the Jnana Kartru he has not become. Therefore, understood what Kartrutva is only Upachara. So, now what about the Jnana Shabda used for the Brahma? Come back to the discussion. Yattu Brahmana Vijnanam. It is not like a Vishaya Vijnanam. When you know an object, there are inner instruments are required, then only you know it. अंतकरण चाहिए, इंद्रिय चाहिए, तब होगी विषयों का आपको ज्ञान होता है. बट आत्मानात्म विज्ञानम ब्रह्मण विज्ञानम तत् सवितृ प्रकाशवत अग्नि उष्णवत च ब्रह्म स्वरूप अव्यतिरिक्तम स्वरूपम एव. Now this time thing also we have to deeply contemplate, ponder over and catch. Again here also, like the Chakshuradi Dwara, that example is given there to prove that the Upacharika alone is the Jnatrutvam of the Atma. Really, there is nothing other than the Atma. Here also, the Brahma is Jnapti Swarupa only, not like there is somebody knower knowing the Brahma Jnana. To explain that, the great two examples are given Savitru Prakashavatu, Agni Ushnavatu. The more deep we are in understanding example, then we understand about Brahman also. Surya, Lord Surya's light. Surya Bhagavan ka roshni or Agni's Ushnata. These words we use. But is that Surya and Prakasha as used in the words? Are there two things? Is there any grammatical relation between Surya and Surya Prakasha? Think about it. Though we use that language, Bhagavan's sunlight came, we say. Sun and light as if they are two. They are not two things, no? Sun and light are not two, it's one. But that in Vyavakarana, why then they used is because there is a moonlight, there is a tube light, there is a lamp light. In the Vyavahara, because so many things to specify the light, he said sunlight. But in the Brahma, there are no two things. In such a way that is Jnana Brahma and then the Ajnana Brahma. ऐसे दो नहीं है, एक ही है. So, Savitru Prakasha is a good example. Think about it. Without Prakasha, he is not a Savita. Savita, without Savita, where is the Prakasha? That Prakasha, Savita ka. Don't talk about Chandra Prakash now. सूर्य प्रकाश, चंद्र प्रकाश, ग्रह प्रकाश, नक्षत्र प्रकाश, उनको नहीं. इसी एग्जाम्पल में देखो सवित्र प्रकाशवत. हाउ नाइस इट इज एग्जाम्पल. The Savita and Prakasha are such a one thing. One cannot be without other. Chandra Prakasha is not so. Even though Amavasya comes, then Chandra will not have light. Surya का ऐसा नहीं होता. Second is what? Agni Ushnavat. What an example. Agni ka Ushnata. We talk about the hotness of the fire. We talk about hotness of fire, but the fire and hotness are not two things. They were never two, they're always one. But the other things are what? As we told yesterday, the hot rice or hot dal. The rice is not always hot. The heat of the rice is borrowed one. It goes away. In the same way, heat of the fire is not borrowed from somewhere that there is a cold fire. So too, the prakash of the sun is not borrowed from somewhere else that it can go away also. It is one always. This is the difference between Brahma as Jnanam and the Jagat ka Jnanam. Therefore, what is to be done? It is not that Jnanam Brahma is any quality or qualification or description or explanation. Jnanam eva Brahma, Brahma eva Jnanam. Which Jnanam? Shuddha Jnapti Swarupa. That Jnapti Swarupa Jnanam, where the Antakarana Upadhi going through the Indriyas, embracing the objects, this samsara is not there. That is called Brahma. That is reality. These are all औपचारिका, औपाधिका. Yesterday we discussed it. उपाधि के कारण, दिखने के कारण, उपचार के लिए इनका स्वीकृति हो रही है. हकीकत में ये नहीं है. That is why the Satya, Asatya definitions we must have. That which always is there alone is Satya. That which is not at all there is called Asatya. But in between that appears is called as Mithya. That is why when the Brahman is not known, Jagat is absolutely Satyam. Then slowly when you understand the Brahman, then Jagat is Mithya. When you experience Brahman, there is Jagat is Asatyam. When you don't see the gold, ornament alone is real. When you start seeing the gold, ornament is an appearance. So, when you experience the gold, there is no ornament. Then where is the ornament? Is aupacharik. And every ornament is there in its own absence, not in its absolute presence. Absolute presence is only gold. So to absolute presence is only Parabrahma. Entire Jagat is in its own absence, it is existing. And how is all drama? When the Brahman is not known as he himself. But all these upadhis are given so reality. Therefore, the upadhi kruta anubhuti also taken as so real. Next one is what? This is understood. The jnanam of the Brahman is like sun and light. The fire and the Agni. Fire and its heat. As they are inseparable, so too jnanam eva Brahma, Brahma eva jnanam. Depthi swarupam eva Brahma. And in that, as we are discussing in the last 5 days, the jnata, jnanam, niyam, triputi through the vritti has not come. It is you and I are not so deeply meditative to discover the Brahman which is all pervading that we are seeing this triputi and taking it as real. We have to sort out at our own level. Okay, yeah. Now the next topic is more crucial. It takes lot of explanation. Tat na karanantara savyapeksham nitya atma swarupatvatu. That Jnapti Swarupa of Brahma, this is a wrong language, but there is no way other than telling this way. That Jnapti Swarupata of the Brahma, Karanantara Savyapeksham, it has no other Karana other than it. Okay, why the Brahma Swarupa Avyatirikta Swarupa hai Jnana ka? Because tat na Karanantara Savyapeksham. There is no other karana and reason for it to exist. And Nitya Atma Swarupatvat, that the Jnapti Swarupa is always the original Swarupa of the Brahman. It has never changed. Agni Ushna ke tara और Savitru Prakash ke tara. Now the next thing, Sarva Bhavanam cha Tena Avivakta Deshagalatvat. We have little bit discussed already when we talked about the बुद्धि उपाधि एंड चक्षु द्वारेण व्हेन वी डिस्कस्ड, ये पॉइंट थोड़ा उधर आया, उसका इधर थोड़ा एलॉबरेशन है. व्हाट इज दैट? सर्वभावानां च तेन अविभक्त देश कालत्वात्. सी, सर्वभावानां of all the objects, in whichever the desha they are there, in whichever the kala they are there, is that Jnapti Swarupa Atma absent? Anytime. Sarva bhavanam means all things and beings. Desha kala, in different desha and kala, avivakta means this Brahman is never dissociated or separated from them. Which Brahman? Vignapti Brahman. ज्ञप्ति मेरे अंदर का नहीं है तो कोई भी वस्तु का कहीं भी किसी समय का कोई आंसर, कोई क्या कहते हैं कि अनुभव ही नहीं होता. No, these I have to tell, explain tomorrow. I'm just touching them. Explanation is not yet started. Then the next one is more crucial. What is that? Kala akashadi karanatvat. Even more crucial than that is niretasya sukshmatvat. Even more subtler than is natasya anyat avignayam sukshmam vyavaitam viprakrishtam bhutam bhavat bhavishyadva asti. And the biggest bouncer, just or the Yorker to clean bold, the Acharya Shankara puts is Tasmad Sarvagnam Tat Brahma. This is a big, big subtle thing to explain. Solely patiently we have to study. Now, here the Vyangyata used by the Siddhanti to outwit or defeat the Purvapakshi. What is Purvapakshi's thought? कि आत्मा जो है ज्ञाता बन गया. किसका ज्ञाता बना? ये देखो इस वस्तु का, उस वस्तु का. Here at the last line what Guru Maharaj says is not of this or that vastu, but the Atma has become jnata of the everything, yet without becoming jnata. सर्वज्ञ नहीं बनते हुए भी आत्मा सर्वज्ञ है. अब बताओ, तुम तो इस उस चीज का ज्ञाता बना बोल रहे हो, मैं तो कहता हूं सब चीजों का ज्ञाता बना, yet is not सर्वज्ञ. This is what the last challenge. How is that? We have to contemplate. These 4-5 lines talk about that only. It's very beautiful thought will be discussed tomorrow. Don't miss tomorrow's class. What is Jiva's Jnana Trudopadi? What is Atma's Jnana of the world? The difference between these two, if you can catch it, then sort out ho jayega problem. The big problem is one, we are as a Jiva depending on the Interkarana to know the things for our own transaction. We are giving importance to this Jnata, Jnana, Jnaya transaction. In pure Brahma, in सबकी जरूरत नहीं है. Therefore, he is not a Jnata like you and I. Tomorrow we'll explain. For example, the gold is Sarvagna of all ornaments. In what way? By being the self of all. That itself is Sarvagnatva of the gold. Not that gold knows the ornaments, because it need not. When do you need to know something? When something is other than you. Is it not? Now gold is Sarvagna, yet it's not Sarvagna. It is not Sarvagna because there is no difference between gold and ornament. It is Sarvagna because again the same question. He alone has become that, appearing like that. So in case of Brahma, the Jnanatvam or Jnatitvam or Jnatrutvam is used in this manner. Not in your and my way, where through the Indriyas, the Antakarana goes and takes the shape of the object, then we become knower of that object. तो परमात्मा का ज्ञातृत्व और हमारा ज्ञातृत्व में ये फर्क. This with little example and explanation tomorrow when we come with a fresh mind, we will study. So, what you have to do as homework is buddhi upadi chakshuradi dvarena vishayakara parinaminya. And then all of that is the Vishaya to the Atma, Paramatma. But attention is not given on Paramatma, attention is given on them. Therefore, they become Jnaya and Atma is taken as Jnata. Therefore, in him, the Jnatrutva as if has tapak pada hai. Otherwise, Jnatrutva is not there. He is Avikari. He is always Nitya Avikara Atma Swarupa only. Swarupa Avyatrekata. That's what we saw. Think little more, it will come. Tomorrow we'll see that. Om, 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 Om. Even after this, there is two crucial topics are there. In one of them, the Nama-Nami relation is rejected. In the next one, the Vakyatva also is rejected. Finally, Satyam Jnanam Anantam Brahma is an anubhuti which cannot be conceived by the Antakarana nor can be spoken by the word. So, to that level of contemplation, Bhagavan Adi Shankara is going to take if we follow him. पूर्णमदः पूर्णमिदं पूर्णात् पूर्णमुदच्यते पूर्णस्य पूर्णमादाय पूर्णमेवावशिष्यते ओम शांति 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 हरि ओम श्री गुरुभ्यो नमः परम ऋषिभ्यो परब्रह्मणे श्रुति मात्रे. Same thing now will be elaborated in our yoga darshan also. Today is a double dhamaka for us.